What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the RBM channel, the Rebrand Black Man. Glad to have you back. On today's episode, I'm going to go over the 5 reasons why I feel it's very important for every man, black men in particular, to experience living alone. You don't have to live alone forever, and it doesn't have to be for a long time, but I do think every black man should have the experience of living alone. There are 5 reasons why I believe every black man should experience living alone: responsibility, independence, structure, finding out who you are, and pride. These are the 5 reasons why I believe every black man should experience living alone. Understanding that there are going to be times where you may move in with somebody, roommate, girlfriend, but these 5 things here, I believe living alone teaches and it helps to build from within. Starting with number 1, responsibility. When you're living alone, you have nobody else to depend on. Your place is your place. Those bills are due between the 1st and the 5th of the month, regardless. You don't have anybody to call on. You can borrow. However, it's your responsibility to make sure your place stays your place. So if you do have to borrow money or you do ask for help, obviously, you would have to pay that back. So that builds responsibility within oneself to have something that they could build upon, and it builds up their responsibility skills. Reason number 2, independent. I believe it is extremely important for every man to have independence. Black men in particular have been trained naturally to be dependent upon other people. Unfortunately, we've been dependent on our family, been dependent on the system, dependent on all other external resources but ourselves. When you live alone, the independence is forced in you. Whatever you want to eat, whatever you have in your refrigerator, you are the one that's responsible for going to get it. You are the one that's responsible for going to cook it. You are the one that's responsible for going to clean up. You must be very independent. Not to say that it's a bad thing to be dependent, not to say it's a bad thing to have people around you that you can depend on. However, as a man, it's very important to have confidence in yourself that you can execute whatever needs to be executed in order for your day-to-day activity to continue. So independence is extremely important, and it's forced when you live alone. Reason number 3 is structure. When you live alone, you build your own place. You organize your rooms the way you like it. You buy your toiletries. You organize your linen closet. You organize your refrigerator. You set a schedule. You set a routine. You go to bed at a certain time. You wake up at a certain time. You may go to the gym, or you may do your running around your errands, or whatever the case may be. But there's no mommy and daddy in the house. There's no woman telling you, hey, today we got to do this. If your laundry is falling out of the basket, that's on you. You must have structure within your own self, within your own life, and within your own place. You definitely don't want people coming to your place and seeing that your place is unorganized, unstructured, stuff is everywhere. That's what we do not want. So again, living alone, if you don't see the pattern, a lot of these things are forced when you're living alone. In turn, men are then building on these skills, becoming a better person and self-improving every day subconsciously, because these are some of the things that you have to do. Reason number 4, finding out who you are. So a lot of this kind of ties back into some of the earlier points, but when you live alone, you truly find out who you are. People always say, oh man, that Chris, he's cool, but he's a little dirty, he's a little messy. Well, Chris wouldn't understand why somebody says that. Chris is just living his day-to-day life. Everybody who's his enablers are just saying, yeah, Chris, go ahead and do that. Go ahead and do that. Nah, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. But the outside world is seeing where Chris is lacking. And this is an example. Well, when Chris lives by himself and maybe he goes to a friend's house and he sees his friend's house set up a certain way. His friend has his chairs pushed in his table. They have their cups organized. If you need to go get a fork, you know exactly which drawer to pull out, and you see all the cutlery organized. And then Chris goes back to his house and he sees that his dishes are still in the sink. He sees that his bed is not made up. Papers on the floor that could easily be picked up, but he's just been walking over it, subconsciously not seeing it, not noticing. Well, this starts to make you see yourself for who you are. Some of the things that you don't do will be highlighted to you, and then you realize all of the flaws, all of the things that you looked over, all the things that nobody told you to do, because this is your place. Nobody's going to tell you to do it, but you know better. You know what's right and what's wrong. So these are some of the things that it forces you to see who you really are. And if you guys made it this far, I appreciate you guys. Make sure you leave a like, a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Definitely share it out to anybody who you think can use this content. So the last point, the last reason why I think, number 5, why I think it's very important for men to live alone will be for pride. And I truly believe that when you have something that you've worked hard for, you have something that you build and you take care of day in and day out, this is your baby, you then have pride in it. It's just like a new car. When you buy a new car, you're washing that car once a week, twice a week. You know, you're making sure that it's the cleanest car on the street. You're making sure that everybody sees you. When they see you in that car is clean. You have pride in that car because you're proud of it. You're proud of your accomplishment. accomplishment. You're proud of the car that you bought. Well, it's the same with your place. When you take care of your place takes care of you. If you have pride in your place, people are going to come over and enjoy your place. If you're an entertainer, they're always coming over for your entertainment, whether that be food, music, comedy, just having conversation. People love your environment. That is a sense of pride. I truly believe every man deserves to experience that. You also want to make sure anybody that you teach on how to take care of their place, you have a place to teach from. You can show them some of the routines that you've kept up with that's kept your place nice, and people are excited to come. So again, pride is very important for yourself and for your place. If you're proud of your place, then obviously everything that you have in it will be a byproduct. These are the 5 reasons why I truly believe every man, black men in particular, should experience living alone. Again, it doesn't have to be forever. Make sure you guys leave a comment, a like, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Until next time, thanks for checking out the RBM channel, and I'll catch you later.